What's up, the John Squad? This is John Pilling here, your YouTube World Heavyweight Champion here, and I'm coming to you with my WWE Monday Night Raw review for August 13th, 2018. So let's do this. What an epic WWE Monday Night Raw we had last night. There was a surprise at the end, but we'll get that later on in the show. So we kicked out WWE Monday Night Raw with Ronda Rousey, and she talks about how Alexa Bliss cheated to beat Natalya a lot of times. She then just says that she is going to beat Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam and win the Raw Women's Championship. So then she brings out Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss's opponent, and Alexa Bliss comes out and talks about Ronda Rousey, how she kisses up to the fans, and that she is a spoiled brat, overhyped rookie. So that was like intense how the way she said it. She is sick and tired of she's sick and tired of hearing about her and stuff like that, and that Alexa talks about Kurt Angle. So then she spoke to Constable Baron Corbin and got her own security, hired her own private security to protect her from Ronda Rousey. So then Ronda Rousey attacks her own private security in the ring, and then we have the first match of the night. So then the first match we had on Raw was Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss, and the winner was Ember Moon. Wins by disqualification due to Alicia Fox breaking up the pin as Ember Moon was trying to go for the win. So then Alicia Fox attacks Ember Moon, and then Ronda Rousey attacks Alicia Fox, and that sends her out of the ring, and that's what happens in that segment. So then the second match we had on Raw was the Constable Baron Corbin versus Tyler Breeze, and the winner was Constable Baron Corbin. After the match, Constable Baron Corbin decided to make a match, and he plans a 2-on-1 handicap match. Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal, and Kevin Owens. But then Kurt Angle comes out and decides to change the match to a tag team match with Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens. So that was the third match, and we had Finn Balor, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens and Jinder Mahal, and the winner was Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. After the match, Braun Strowman chases Kevin Owens to the back after Finn Balor's just looking on, wondering what's going on, and then from out of behind, a sneak attack from behind, Constable Baron Corbin does the end of days move onto Finn Balor. The next match we had on Raw was apparently Elias. We had Ricky Roberts. Who was this? Like a random person. He's Elias's big fan, and so then Elias talks to Ricky Roberts and just talks to him on top of the stage, and then he says that if he could beat Bobby Lashley. So then this wasn't technically a match, so it was supposed to be a match. We had Bobby Lashley versus Ricky Roberts, but this match never happens at all due to Ricky Roberts hitting Bobby Lashley with the guitar. But then Lashley just slams Ricky Roberts onto the mat, and that's what happens to end that segment. So the fifth match on Raw was a Raw Tag Team Championship match, triple threat match. We had on Raw was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the Revival versus the B Team, and the winner was, and still a Raw Tag Team Champions, the B Team. And then we had Roman Reigns, who cuts an in-ring promo on Raw and talks about how he is going to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And he's going to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and take the Universal Championship. He talks about that. So then Paul Heyman comes out and cuts a promo and talks to Roman Reigns how he wants to be his advocate, and how he, and Paul Heyman just talks to Roman Reigns and things like that, and then he says that he is going to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. So Paul Heyman is just trying to get him to be his advocate, wants Roman to be his advocate, and Roman is turning him down a lot, and So then, as Paul Heyman hands him a piece of paper to read off of, doesn't want to answer. So then, Paul Heyman grabs a pepper spray, and the sprays in Roman Reigns' eyes. So then, the Beast and Carnage, Brock Lesnar comes out and just attacks Roman Reigns, attacks him. Then he puts him in a submission hold. Then Brock Lesnar leaves, and then he goes back to the ring and does an F5, and that's what happens here to end that segment. So another match you had on Raw was Bobby Roode, Glorious, and Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews versus the Authors of Pain and Mojo Rawley. And the winner was Bobby Roode, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews. And that match was glorious. Another match you had on Raw was Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott, and the winner was Ruby Riott. Then we had the final part of Raw we had on Raw was an Intercontinental Championship contract signing match with Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins, and Kurt Angle talks about the attack what Brock Lesnar did to Roman Reigns, and also Paul Heyman did, and he will not suspend Brock Lesnar and strip him of the title, and he wants Roman Reigns to kick Brock Lesnar's butt at SummerSlam. So then, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out, and Dolph says that Seth Rollins is not here. And Drew talks to Kurt Angle about the Roman and Brock Lesnar thing, that maybe it won't be happening, but it's still going to happen. That's what he talks about. So then, Kurt Angle introduces Seth Rollins, but he does not come out because apparently Seth Rollins was having some sort of travel issues. That's what happened. So then, what happens here is that Seth Rollins and introduce Seth Rollins, and Dolph and Drew say that Seth Rollins quit and that they both respect Seth Rollins and that the fans will quit on Seth Rollins and that just like they did to Dolph Ziggler, and that's what I mean. So then Seth Rollins finally comes out and talks to Dolph and Drew and says, before you signed that contract, Dolph, I was afraid about this. I was afraid before you signed that contract, before you were going to change your mind. Because the stipulation was that I could have somebody in my corner, and I wasn't the one who was having traveling issues. I'm going to have a lunatic in my corner. And guess who the lunatic was? It was the lunatic. It was the return of Dean Ambrose. He is going to be in Seth Rollins' corner at SummerSlam and help him win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. So then they both head to the ring and they go have a brawl with Drew McIntyre and Seth. Go have a brawl with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have a brawl, and they fight it out with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. They both brawl it out, and then Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins clean the house, and they both do the Shield thing like this, and that's what happens. Seth Rollins signs the contract, and the match is official for SummerSlam, and so it's going to be pretty interesting, and that's what happens there to end that whole thing on Raw with the return of Dean Ambrose. So this is pretty shaping up to be pretty interesting now. So once again, the John Squad, please like this video, leave your comments down below, and subscribe for more. If you love the return of Dean Ambrose, slap a like on this video. Don't forget to tap that bell on YouTube app so you never miss an upload on my videos. And peace out, the John Squad. I love you guys. We're all champions here on this channel. Peace.